Today is going to be a very different kind of vlog for certain reasons. One is that it is going to be the first time I'm going to talk about my mental health battles, which started about 3 years ago, and I'm grateful that it ended this year. Today I'm going to try to talk about it. And isasabay na namin siya sa podcast namin na mag-asawa, which is Anything Goes with the Bonnies. Simply because I don't know if I can really talk about it again. Baka ito na lang yung time na kaya ko talaga siyang pag-usapan. So, let's see. I pray that it will help. Ultimately, I'm sharing this because I want to help people who are going through mental health battles and people around them who are clueless, just like how my husband was, about what could you do to get them out of it, or if that you couldn't get them out of it, what help at least could you offer? That's it. Crossing my fingers. I hope this helps. So when I saw this online, when Felice was promoting it, or not really promoting it, sharing about her project here, I said, I have to come here and do content in this place kasi ang ganda niya lang talaga. Look at that blank space. Oh, diba? It's so refreshing, especially when you come from a house like ours na 24/7, may gulo na nadadagdag. But look at this. There's a wash area. And there's a bato-bato area. Well, diba? How nice naman that patch of green. So, I'm gonna have a short shoot with JJ. And then, after that is going to be the main reason about why we are here today. Hi, JJ!
Hi!
Okay, can you give us a brief story about the Balara house?
Yeah, content. Balara
Content
house. Well, I think God is, full of surprises, always. So we were not actually looking for a place to develop like this. Because we're happy already with Lucas Studio.
Yeah, oo.
So it came about lang na you notice na pupuno na yung schedule there. We were denying already inquiries na, we're already booked. So sayang, we saw that there was an opportunity. Initially, we were looking for a place to transfer. With the pandemic, the kids were stuck lang we live in a townhouse, so ang hirap mag-move around.
Oo.
But eventually, we gave up that idea na parang, okay, I think God does not, walang lumalabas walang opportunity. So we gave it up. Then we just fixed na lang our house. And then nag-start yun. So when we started to be content with our house, God opened up this one.
Sabi niya, hindi kasi para sa inyo.
So we were...
Ibang house.
We were only looking at, okay na tayo sa 300 square. So we were 400. Yan. Then God gave this. This is like 2,500 square.
I know, John was saying.
Diba?
2,500. And this is, like you were saying, this is an old house?
I'm not sure how the lapel works with the laptop. But I kind of like this.
We do it. That's the way we do it.
Do you want a ball? I like it. But I'm just willing to share with you.
Ayan. Maybe I'll just do this. Yeah, this is gonna be fine.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Anything Goes with
The Bodies!
And sweetheart, we are not in our usual recording location.
We are not. But it's a house nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice house.
Okay, so what's the topic of the day?
We're talking about mental health. And
Specifically,
your
my mental health.
or lack of it. Loko lang.
Yeah, and we're talking about it because I've been kind of like hinting on it on my social media platforms.
It's stronger than a hint.
Yeah, or I would share bits and pieces of it, but never the full story. And I would do so because ganun naman ako eh. Parang whatever I think, I would express it on my channels. It just resonates with a lot of other people who have gone through the same thing. And so it makes them feel a little less alone and a little less weird for thinking those thoughts na. And ako rin, nagugulat ako na, oh, okay, somebody like you can think that way. Medyo ganun yung reaction namin sa isa't isa. So that's kind of like the reason why we are sharing this, because we want to be ultimately of help. And by help, we don't mean that we are going to offer solutions. We're not psychologists, psychiatrists. We're not trained to do that. But the help that we're talking about is that if somebody narrates her experience of it, it could be somewhat a relief to others who are going through it and might find comfort in knowing that you are not alone. And I think that what's especially different about this podcast is that you are also going to share with others how it is to be living with someone who's crazy. No, I mean like
crazy, but
okay,
yes.
not yung alam mo yung when I say crazy, it's more of like when you're losing the original mind that you had. You know how your mind works, you know how you are when you're okay, and then suddenly you wake up and everything's just different. So, syempre for me, mahalaga na masabi ko yung part ko. Pero mahalaga rin siguro na masabi mo yung part mo, because a lot of people did not sign up for this. When you got married, it wasn't as if it was stated there that at one point your wife is going to suffer something mentally. Wala namang crash course for that, diba? So parang you really need as much help as you can also, no, as a support in that entire ordeal. Actually, ako hindi ko rin masyadong alam kung kailan. I just have an idea of what could have started it. But I think it goes way, way before that. I feel like I haven't been okay in the last 3 years. Pero prior to that, may mga events na that contributed to when it started. And I only realized that when I was going through grief counseling. And my counselor said that, oh, what you have is rapid fire trauma. And I was thinking, anong ibig sabihin ng rapid fire trauma? Parang sunod-sunod daw yung nangyari sa akin, and I have had not enough time to get up and recover before another blow comes on me again. I gave birth to my first son 2014, and then we lost our second baby 2016? Tama ba ako?
Yes.
Yeah, 2016. After that, 2017, we lost again. And then I got pregnant 2018. So you could just imagine all the hormonal changes that are also influenced heavily by like the emotions of not getting the babies.
I think the other thing kasi is, besides those things, you've got childhood stuff, you've got the way we would relate to each other early in our marriage that would stay there, you know. And siguro I would liken it to like a physical injury, where let's say I got an injury as a teenager and it doesn't bother me in my 20s, doesn't bother in my 30s, but in my 40s, now it hurts.
You know, may nagsabi rin sa akin, of course, no, I don't know how true this is or like if all psychiatrists, psychologists believe in it. Well, when a lot of things come back to you and then you kind of get hurt and pained about them after how many years of not really knowing na nandun
Or
siya.
acting like okay lang naman eh, alam ko naman to.
Ang sabi, the brain is ready to process whatever it is. And this is why also I feel like in the last 3 years I broke down na. It's because of all of those years of trying to not mind the pain. I really went up to the point of hopelessness na nag-surrender na ako na if this is gonna be my life, parang Lord, just help me exist. Lord, just help me get up in the morning, be okay enough to face the kids and my husband, and then go to sleep again.
Yeah.
Parang yun na lang yung pinaka kaya kong i-pray for.
Yeah.
Because I can't even see past it.
Yeah.
Like I can't even say that I'm gonna heal from this, because it kind of felt like a few times before it na, hindi, ito na. Parang I was able to break through, and then it comes back again.
Yeah, yeah.
So yung parang nakaka-ano rin yun nakaka-demoralize na you think you've gone past it, and then you go back to it again. So 2018, that was when I got pregnant with Manu. That was also right around the time that Philip started changing. For 4 years, he had no one
Okay.
but mama.
I really hurt her here.
He was starting to be a different person. I think it's part of a developmental
Of a son,
change of a person, that at some point, especially boys daw, they go to their dads instead of their moms anymore. Not
And
anymore,
you
their
gotta
moms.
understand, like, Philip was like such a mama's boy. Not in a bad way. You know, he wanted to fight, he wanted to wrestle with me, but mama was everything.
Well, it was kind of everything also, because his personality was, he didn't really like to be with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, if there's parang medyo same kami. We actually were very similar. The two of us were like drawn to each other, because we're like, if we want a safe space, it's just gonna be the two of us.
Yeah.
Ganon. And then that changes. At saka parang nakikita ko na talaga siya nag-enjoy ng life outside of me.
Yeah.
So, not even just you Like, he would enjoy your mom,
Yes.
your dad, his cousin. Alam mo yun, lahat. Lahat na i-enjoy niya na. Na parang ako, wait a minute, parang saan na ako pupulutin? Ano na gagawin ko? I've carved out my entire life for just the two of you and your papa. So, okay, bye. I guess bye to me.
So basically what happened was Carla was, because she was feeling pushed away by Philip, her defense mechanism was to push him also. Na since aalis ka lang rin naman, itodo na natin. Diba? Diyan ka na talaga. Diba? Kay papa mo ka na talaga. Sa pinsan mo ka na talaga. Sa lola mo, lolat mo. Yan yung gusto mo, diba? Ganun. And so she would actively push him away like that. So for example, hey, where do you want to sit on this Disney on Ice event we were gonna watch? And she was like, no, don't sit with me. Sit over there. Yung ginagano na si Philip. So si Philip parang nalilito. I don't think it marked him, because, he's clueless at that point. But you could tell na she was pushing him away, and that made me very angry. And I was very hurt by that. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I know you're going through stuff, but why are you hurting our son? Diba? Why are you attacking him this way? No, and this is where the performance mindset was being reinforced. Na parang, diba, no matter what pain we're going through, we suck it up and we deal with it, but we can't do that to our kid. We can't do that to our mission. Alam mo yun, yung may ganun akong mindset. So I was furious with Carla for doing that. I'm driving. We just dropped Philip off at my mom's house. I'm thinking, what the heck is wrong with this girl? What kind of mother is like that? In the meantime, Carla's like, oh, thank God, it's just me and my husband. We get to spend time together because I really need a safe space with him right now. Oh my gosh, kawawa si Carla. So we're in the car together. She's hoping for that safe space. I'm furious, and I just got mad at her. Tapos, yun nga. Then she broke down and she said, it hurts. It hurts to be pushed away. So that was a reinforced wound from me. That was December 2018.
And then I was pregnant, and the pregnancy was difficult na nga. It was like injecting so many things in my body, yung mga ganyan. And at the same time, all the fear and the trauma from the past miscarriages.
Of losing the baby again.
Yung every day of my life waking up na, am I gonna lose again? Am I gonna lose again?
Any
I
kind
don't
of
wanna lose
spotting,
now.
any kind of cramping
Yeah,
would
and
send her into
saka yung
like
conflicting
panic.
emotion lang of, is it bad that I don't want to want this baby?
Yeah.
Kumbaga, I want the baby, no doubt about it. But I don't want to want it so much so that when I lose the baby, I will still be okay.
I remember one time I came home and Carla was just crying and crying, and I said, what's wrong? And she said, God gives and takes away. And I said, okay. And she said, yeah, so what if God takes away this baby? And I said, well, that would be terrible, but we'll have to live through it. And she goes, what if God takes you? What if God takes Philip? I'm just supposed to take it. I'm just supposed to be okay with him doing that. I can't question him doing that. And I was like, oh my gosh, ang lala ng iniisip ng babaeng to. Kasi technically, totoo naman yung mga yon, pero wala ka ng sense of assurance from God. Yeah, and you actually pointed me to that verse in Job where he said, "The Almighty terrifies me," and you were like, "That's exactly how I feel now." This sentiment right here.
It was so difficult to believe that God would not just do anything that He wanted to do, even
Because
if
He
it,
does.
yeah,
Yeah.
parang nagka-gap kami ni God.
Yeah.
Na I can't really go to you anymore because I'm afraid that you will hurt me.
Yeah.
When I try to think of those, parang I don't know what to call them. They're not triggers, but they're more of like key moments. I guess those are the moments when my heart would make resolutions.
Yes.
You know how they say in counseling that you make inner vows that you could be aware of or not aware of. My inner vow was like, oh, no one's gonna be on my side.
Yeah.
So you need to fend for yourself.
Yeah.
You and right around this time also we were kind of shifting in a lot of our
In my work, in
ways.
your work.
I mean, and even our parenting philosophy was beginning to change. My parenting philosophy was not already one with yours.
Yes.
And it felt like it was so tiring to talk to you about these changes na okay, no one's gonna want to hear me out on this
Yes.
again. It's just gonna be me. So I was like beginning to put the pieces together. I'm like, okay, kaya ako naloka.
Oo.
Kasi feeling ko na nga wala akong kakampi sa sarili kong bahay. Ayaw na nga sa akin ng anak ko, ayaw pa sa akin ng asawa ko. I'm scared of losing my baby every day. So I think that's when I started to break down.
Yeah.
Well, I was still okay. And there was the saving grace of progressing with a pregnancy. It was keeping me, although I do remember that when I was pregnant with him, there was a thought there na ito yung una kong siguro naisip ko na, oh, malala na yata ako. Kasi gusto ko na, parang nag-wish na ako mamatay. I was thinking, magkasakit na lang kaya ako? Parang may ganun na ako. I never reached that point of like slashing myself or doing something, drinking something to kill myself. And I think this is what they call the passing thought. It's a passive kind of suicidal thought na I was telling myself na it would be great kung magkasakit ako ngayon tapos mamatay ako. And the reason behind that being nobody needs me anymore in this world. This world is not going to lose anything without me.
Yeah.
And I do remember getting a hold of Kate Bowler's book, Everything Happens for a Reason and All the Other Lies I've Loved. And then there was this part there, and I shared it on my vlog as well, na gustong-gusto ko, yung part na God is here, we are loved, and that's enough.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, it should be enough.
Yeah.
That God loves me. There was also that part na yung naisip ko lang na Manu is in my tummy. I can't die right now. I mean, it would be totally unfair to wish that I was dead and I have a baby in my tummy. This is also why I kind of say that my children save me. Of course, I mean, only God saves, no? He does it through a number of things, and I think He used my children largely kasi nga parang I needed a reason to live eh. Actually, first time ko rin na-encounter yung feeling na ganon. I need a reason to live. I never thought that I would reach that, honestly, that I need a reason to live. Pero, nga no, pag nawawalan ka na pala ng rason, ang hirap na nga rin pala talagang mag-exist. I was still okay until, I gave birth to Manu, and Manu wasn't exactly an easy baby.
It was
and by
a very
that,
difficult baby.
By that I mean he wasn't like difficult lang. He was just really different from Philip. And plus the fact na hindi ko rin siguro masyado naintindihan na to have two is going to be so different from just having one.
And that was one of our big mistakes, that we were like business as usual, back to normal so quickly. And at the same time, that's when your dad was rushed to the ER.
So you can just imagine, I just gave birth. He was just 2 months old. I got news that my dad is already critical. I didn't expect to be that affected by my dad because wala naman talaga kaming relationship. And I think it bothered me for the first time na wala kaming relationship.
Yeah.
So after 39 years of not having anything with him, I begin to think that, teka muna, bakit di ko kilala yung sarili kong daddy? Ganyan. Minsan parang gusto ko nga sabihin na, ang tanga ko ba na hindi ko to agad naisip? Yung sobrang weird lang ba? Pero I think that's really how pain works sometimes and how people cope with their own brokenness. And I want people to see also now na oo, merong trauma, merong emotions and lahat. But you have to remember, kakapanganak ko lang nito.
Yeah.
So I just gave birth, and you know how hormones can get when you just gave birth, or no, when you get pregnant tapos you give birth. So haywire pa yan. Sobrang labo-labo pa. My milk was not yet steady. And at the same time, ito na, namatay na yung tatay ko. Okay, a little backstory. We were supposed to see my dad.
Yep.
Even if ganon palang kaliit si Manu, nakuhanan ko siya ng passport, ng visa, lahat, all in 1 week, because I just needed to see my dad. If in case na mamatay siya or what, sabi ko, I would have wanted to take that trip to at least see him. Even if we didn't have like the ideal papa-daughter relationship, I would have wanted to do this to honor him. And then, he dies a few days before my flight. Of all naman, no? Talagang namatay siya. And when my sister called me, naalala ko yun, nasa living room kaming tatlo. Sa amin ni Paula sa akin. Ate, Ach, wala na hindi na umabot. Yung una ko talagang sinabi sa kanya, like, hindi na daw ba talaga pwede? As in, tinanong ko sa kanya. Tapos parang after a while, naisip ko, tanga naman ng tanong ko, sinabi ng patay, nagpa-check pa ako, baka nagkamali, yung ganon. Yung thought lang na, pagpunta ako doon, wala na siya doon. Parang, tapos wala rin naman siya dito. So, nasan siya? Yung parang, it just makes you feel lost.
And that was what helped when we finally went for counseling. And my mindset was, I just gotta bring her. Like, can you fix this woman? Parang ganon. And we went for counseling. And to me, the breakthroughs of that coffee with Pastor Jojo and Miss Ida were the compassion she showed, especially, both of them showed na parang, ang dami mong pinagdaanan. Nakikits niyo ba na ang dami nun? Sunod-sunod yung lahat.
So ako, business as usual. Ninarate ko lang yung buhay ko na, okay, ito po yung nangyari sa akin. Bali nanganak ako, after ko manganak, namatay yung tatay ko, ay nakritical siya, tapos after yun, ganyan ko lang siya sinabi.
Yeah.
Habang sinasabi ko lahat yun, pati yung miscarriages ko in the past, ito yung nangyari nung 2016.
In a very emotionless way.
Bigla na lang nag-excuse me si Miss Ida. Kumuha siya ng tissue sa bag niya, tapos sabi niya, I'm sorry, Carla. I just have to cry. Sabi niya, because you've been through a lot. Tapos ako, ay, opo. Tapos bigla lang ako naiyak kasi parang, oh my gosh, somebody sees it too. Because for the longest time, it felt like I was crazy. It felt crazy to say na I'm having a hard time. Parang, oh, who are you to have a hard time? Parang ganyan. Ganon yung feeling ko na hindi ka pwedeng mahirapan. Kaya mo pa yan. Mas marami pa nahihirapan sa'yo. When she said that, I think that was the beginning of my healing.
Yeah.
It was the beginning of admitting that, oo nga no, mahirap nga.
It was
masakit nga. Now, I'm reminded of like another key point to my healing. It was Father's Day of 2020. Kasi 'di ba, after ko nga manganak, I think I was hormonally messed na pati yung aking breastfeeding hindi na naging okay. As in like it was so tough, like grabe yung iyak ko. I think I was never okay na after the announcement that my dad was dead, and so my hormones were just probably just as confused as I was. And so it affected my breastfeeding. And one point in the States, Father's Day of 2020, I was still having a problem with my breastfeeding. And I kept complaining, and I told God na ayoko na sa'yo. Ayoko na, break na tayo. Wala namang nangyayari pag naniniwala ako sa'yo. It's not as if you will solve my problem. Dali-dali naman ito sa'yo. Others have it so easy.
Yeah.
Bakit ako nahihirapan? So break na tayo. Pero before ako matulog, alala ko, may pa-disclaimer pa rin ako. Lord, kung gusto mo talagang ayusin to ha, ikaw na mag-ayos. Di ko na to kaya. Parang ganyan. Next day, I just felt like, sige nga, basahin natin yung Job ulit. So yun, sa commentary pa lang in the beginning, introduction and ganyan-ganyan, Job pala is also a name that could actually mean na, where is my father? And that was Father's Day, and I kept crying because I said, fatherhood pa rin pala. Anong petsa na 2020 na? May pandemic na, Lord. Fatherhood pa rin pala yung issue ko. And I'm grateful for like 2 friends of mine. That was Iya and Mao. I was talking to them like a long messaging, parang exchange of messaging sa Telegram, when I realized that what God wanted me to feel was like, I'm not gonna let you go. Even when you let me go. And don't ever think that the relationship is on you. Na ako na naman ang nag-hold ng things. I'm holding it together. Those were some of the things. And then, yung pinakamatindi is, ganito kasi pag may tatay.
Yeah.
And doon ako umiyak na sabi ko, hindi ko kasi alam yung feeling ng my daddy. My dad was a great person. Please do not mistake this as dishonoring him. It's just that we were not perfect as a family. And na-realize ko lang nung Father's Day of June 2020 na, hindi ko pala alam yung feeling kasi na merong isang tatay na hindi pumayag sa isang bagay, pero mahal ka pa rin niya. Yeah. Hindi ko naiintindihan yung concept na hindi niya ibibigay lahat sa'yo, pero hindi ibig sabihin kaaway mo siya. Nakakampi mo pa rin siya after all of this.
Yeah.
It was just a major breakthrough for me because it feels like, alam mo yung buhay mo na para siyang puzzle, na isa-isa mo nakikita yung mga missing pieces. Tapos nakakabit mo doon, nare-realize mo, kaya pala ako ganun. And now may sagot na ako doon.
Yeah.
I think that was what I had to do to realize that that is what the love of God can do to you.
Yeah.
Na it's a safe space. And I feel like it was so crucial because years before that, it didn't feel safe. It felt like I was always attacked.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like something was always stolen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, my antennas were up na, okay, bad's gonna happen to me right now. Ganon. So parang, I feel like God allowed me to lose myself so I can find myself in Him.
Yep.
And that I can find my unity and my safe space in Him. Kasi ultimately, yun yung pinoprovide dapat ng fathers na hindi ko nga dapat hinahanap lahat yun sa'yo kasi fallen ka lang naman din. I mean, you're broken, you can't provide all of that. If you are someone who feels angry, go out and lash out on God na parang, sige, Lord, ito lahat ng ko. Yung, kaya ko sinasabi yun, and it feels wrong, no? May layer pa yun na, di ko dapat to ginagawa sa Diyos, yung ganun. But I think, how children are, na how safe they feel, and I know this because I would read up a lot of mga childhood development books or studies, no? Sabi nila, ang batang kayang magreklamo at maging hindi together sa harap ng parents niya ay isang batang secure na mamahalin siya ng mga magulang niya no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I achieved in that moment. Often nga, tinatanong ako, ano daw yung nakatulong sa akin sa mental health battle ko? Obviously, si Lord. That's where it comes from when I say na when you can't keep yourself together, the funny thing is that's when you realize that it has been God all along keeping you together.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. The second thing is that whoever is like closest to you, so that could be your husband, your family, whoever that is, that they would just stay by your side and not leave. And I am forever grateful to you for that because, I mean, you've done all sorts of things to me to hurt me. But one thing you never did. You never said, I'm done and I'm leaving you. And there were many times there na feeling ko, the only thing I deserve right now is that people will leave me. If they start leaving this house, I will be the first to say, sige na, umalis na kayo kasi hindi nyo talaga ako kakayanin. I think I'm saying that because if you're somebody who's around someone who went through or is going through mental health battles, you just staying by their side and not really offering solutions is already a great thing, a big thing, because that communicates na you're gonna be there for them even when they're difficult. I don't think the answer is to say that you're not difficult, because you are.
No.
Because
No.
we all are.
No.
The lie is not going to make it. It's not gonna cut it. But what's going to help is that even when you are, I'm gonna stay by your side. And when you can't hope, I will hope for you. I was thinking of what do I just want to leave people with, especially those who are suffering from it, from just not being mentally stable. You know, God's will for you is to be whole. And in the Bible, that word is shalom, wholeness, harmony between your parts in yourself.
Yep.
And being mentally unstable really is a war within yourself. More than a war with anybody else, it's a war within you, waging wars in your heart that is now translating into your hormones, the bodily manifestation. And God's will for you is to have peace between your parts. And naalala ko lang yung verse na, peace I leave with you. Yan, si Jesus nagsabi niyan. And that I do not give as the world gives. There's a large part, I feel, of why we are the way that we are is because of the world, or just simply in a broken world. So, broken people will break other people. We do that to one another. You do that to to others. News flash for you. But you know, Jesus says He does not give as the world gives. And we're not yet at that time where everything is solved. So in the meantime, when we are not yet in that final form where everything is just right, we can find that rightness and wholeness in God, in Jesus. Because He doesn't give as the world gives. And yeah, I hope that encourages you. That whatever effort you put into like making yourself whole, if you do it with the faith that God wants this for me, it will get you somewhere. And I'm declaring that it will get you somewhere.
Yeah.